there are those people in this world, and Bonnie and I are very active in the State House for all constitutional conventions, and the people on the other side, I have never experienced such hatred for who I am as a person with the other side of those groups in Christian name. The horrible things that they show us, the insults they throw at us. And on June 14th, 2004,
Just last June.
Last June, when we finally won the constitutional battle, and there was two sides of the room in the State House. We knew everyone in the State House by the time we got through with the vote. And one side was the lesbian and gay, the other side were the other people,
The rest.
for lack of a better name. And when we were watching this television at the Godfather's running, and whenever the vote came down, we couldn't believe it. We were I screamed and howled so loud I couldn't talk for 2 days. And the other people sitting there like, so, and Robbie said, don't matter what they say to you, don't respond. And that day I walked out and there was these prissy people there, and I walked by and I said, love won out over hate today. And I had to say something after all those discriminations that were thrown at me, just for who I am. You know, not the color of my hair, the color of my skin, how I dress, but just for who I am inside. It was a horrible experience. I will never forget. The victory was sweet, but the process was terrible.
I remember.
You know, if I can just jump into something that Mary's pointing out, I think she's really sort of giving some very painful examples of, you know, homophobia, which I think of as very overt, or maybe not so overt, negativity that's directed towards people who are gay. I think, though, there's a distinction, perhaps, for your hospital roommate who may have been acting with good intention, misguided and not meeting your needs, but she may have been thinking, this is a source of comfort for me, and so I'm going to offer it to my roommate. It's not as
Looked at it that
well,
way.
no, but I mean, I think that it frequently may have, right, she may have felt like, I have to do this for your betterment, whether you'll, you know, it's, you know, what do I call it, bad medicine or something. But in many cases, there's a lot of what happens that isn't coming from homophobia, from I'm going to discriminate against you, but from a term that I sort of use, which is homo-ignorance, which is from lack of thinking of something differently, so that if somebody says, oh, you know, you're married, what does your husband do? Is he still alive? It's just not thinking outside of sort of a heterosexist assumption about the world. Everybody's straight until they tell us otherwise.
Right.
And then I think when we talk about professional staff here, when we talk about, you know, nursing home social workers, you know, people all over the place, that it really just is that we live in a culture, we live in a community where we're all taught to think and assume that everybody's heterosexual. And I hope, and what I find when I'm doing trainings, is that more of the time I'm encountering the lack of awareness than I am encountering the overt hostility.
But, you know, I don't know.